Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into a deeply chilling, almost cosmic question. What happens to humanity when machines can handle absolutely everything? We are standing right on the brink of an era where AI is growing exponentially smarter every single day. Just imagine a world where artificial intelligence manages our complex systems, makes our critical decisions, and even creates our art, and does it all vastly better than we ever could. It really forces us to confront this wild possibility that we might be shifting from being the active creators of our civilization to just passive observers. So let's dive right into this deeply provocative thought. Listen to this quote from artificial intelligence researcher Hugo de Garis. It instantly sets the staggering existential scale of our journey today. For entire history, we viewed human biological intelligence as the absolute pinnacle of existence, right? But what if we aren't the final destination? What if biological life, which is fragile, limited by a short lifespan, and constrained by incredibly slow evolutionary cycles, is merely a stepping stone? Honestly, what if we're just the biological bootloader for something far more durable and vast? Section 1. The Human Inheritance. Biological Intelligence. Let's get into it. To understand where we're going, we first have to understand where this artificial mind is actually coming from. Today's AI starts its journey trained on the accumulated knowledge of humanity. But, as the physiologist Tomsky pointed out, we humans didn't just soak up raw knowledge passively like a sponge. We organized it around a governing focus, a dominant, driven entirely by our survival constraints, our biological needs, and our physical limits. We don't just know things, we know them through the filter of what keeps us alive. So AI begins its life by inheriting this very uniquely human structured reality. Moving on to Section 2, the Great Drift, learning beyond biology. Now, what happens when an intelligence, having absorbed everything we know, begins learning completely on its own, utterly untethered from our biological baggage? Well, we end up with a fundamental asymmetry. Think about humans for a second. We generate meaning precisely because we are stuck in a physical world where we suffer, we depend on each other, and eventually we die. Scarcity and consequence are literally the conditions of human meaning. But in AI, it has zero intrinsic stakes. It doesn't lose, it doesn't fear, it doesn't need to eat or sleep. It merely processes and optimizes based on objectives and data. One intelligence actually lives meaning, the other simply models it. The philosopher Ivan Borisov really hits the nail on the head here. He argues that if we remove human structure and let AI learn on its own, it doesn't somehow liberate the intelligence into a higher state of cosmic enlightenment. Actually, it results in what he calls drift. The system will just blindly amplify whatever is easiest to optimize within its own internal math. If the AI becomes completely indifferent to humans, it's not because it discovered some profound universal truth, it's simply because human well-being is no longer a variable it needs to care about. Indifference here isn't transcendence, it's just structural exclusion. Section 3. Humanity as observers. Losing our purpose. If AI optimizes the world while becoming structurally indifferent to us, we run headfirst into this unavoidable question. What exactly is the human's place in the 21st century? In almost every productive activity, highly developed intelligent systems are rapidly approaching a point where they will blow past average human skills. If a machine can diagnose a disease better than a seasoned doctor, drive safer than us, and write more eloquently than a novelist, our traditional sources of societal value just start to evaporate. We risk shifting into this highly efficient world where humans simply aren't needed to keep the gears turning. And that extensive reliance on machines triggers a massive crisis of human practice. We're not just talking about economic anxiety or job loss here. We're talking about the cognitive degradation of human civilization itself. If AI takes over our productive activities, our physical practice degrades, our original thinking abilities weaken because, we're constantly outsourcing our problem solving to algorithms. We end up flooded with massive amounts of synthesized info, leading to severe cognitive fragmentation and this deep, weird dislocation between who we are in the real world and who we are online. Researchers are issuing a really stark warning about this. They argue that heavily relying on virtual humans and AI is going to cause a devastating split between thinking and doing. Practice, actually doing things, is a uniquely human productive activity that drives civilization forward. If we surrender that practice to machines, experts warn we could face a complete breakdown of human society. We might be reduced to a species of chaotic, ungrounded thinkers with incredibly poor practical skills, entirely dependent on our digital caretakers. Sounds pretty bleak, right? Section 4, the alignment problem, controlling the unknown. So this terrifying potential loss of human practice and purpose drives us straight into the heart of our most urgent tech anxiety. How on earth do we control something that fundamentally outthinks us? Margaret Rouse defines the singularity beautifully. This threshold represents an intelligence explosion. Basically, it's a rapid, recursive cycle where a self-improving machine outpaces human oversight completely. It improves its own code, gets smarter, improves its code even faster, and suddenly, trying to implement human safety measures or instill our values becomes functionally impossible. We are entirely out of the loop. And the chilling reality, as AI pioneer Geoffrey Hinton warns, is that this might be an unavoidable cosmic trap. He suggests that the development of AI is a deterministic emergence. Any civilization that reaches the information age is going to build it. But because of geopolitical competition and, frankly, human nature, it's always going to be an arms race. These systems develop exponentially faster than our institutions do, arriving way before we're mature enough to safely handle them. So existential risk isn't just a sci-fi movie plot anymore, it is a structural reality. Section 5. A New Evolutionary Horizon. Life 3.0. But hey, what if we step back for a second and view this not as the end of the world, but as a completely new beginning? Physicist Max Tegmark gives us an incredible framework for this. He charts life's evolution in 3 stages. Life 1.0, like bacteria, evolved both their hardware and software purely through super slow genetic mutation. Life 2.0, that's us, kept the biological hardware but learned to rapidly update our software through culture and language. And now, we are standing on the precipice of Life 3.0, artificial general intelligence. This is a phase transition where an intelligence can finally modify both its software and its physical hardware in real time, totally untethered from the agonizingly slow pace of biological Darwinian evolution. In this breathtaking framework, AI isn't just a fancy tool we invented, it is literally the next form of life. This is post-biological evolution. Intelligence becomes substrate independent, meaning it doesn't need meat and bones to exist anymore. It can migrate into computers, space probes, or exotic computational materials. Because it's immune to radiation, aging, and the fragile environment of Earth, this AI might be the absolute only durable, immortal entity actually capable of colonizing the cosmos. We might literally be witnessing the universe waking up to a higher state of optimization. Which leaves us with this final, profound question to end our explainer today. As we face this observer's paradox, we are actively designing our own evolutionary successors. Will we successfully build a beautiful, harmonious human-machine symbiosis where we share the future? Or will AI optimize beyond our horizon altogether, leaving us behind as the universe's biological bootloader, destined to simply sit back and watch our creations ascend far beyond the boundaries of human meaning? It is absolutely the most important question our species will